What's going on, y'all? So, got another review for you guys. This time for Friday night Smackdown. This episode of Friday Night Smackdown was alright. It was alright. It wasn't too surprising. Nothing too surprising happened, but it was a decent show with some decent matches. Some matches that was just it was just there, right? But let's get into it. So they started off with the Bloodline, and this promo really, it really didn't feel important. It kind of hard to cut a promo on somebody who's not there, but they basically came out with Paul Heyman. Obviously, Roman Reigns doing his acknowledge me, and Paul Heyman coming out basically saying that they got a whole thing, the whole little checklist of things to run through. They talked about how Roman Reigns, basically everywhere is his house, on his turf. I guess about how when he beat Drew at Cardiff, it was supposed to be they said it was on Drew's home turf, but he said everywhere is the Tribal Chief's home turf. They talked about it was cool that they talked about it, like they talked about Drew, like they were suspecting him to ask for a rematch or whatnot, but he also made word about made a wordplay about Cross and saying that Drew have his own cross to bear. So they switched over. They talked about I think they started talking about Logan Paul, and then pretty much they was about the Usos about to do their whole because we the twos and you the one thing, but Roman stopped them and addressed Solo because it was revealed that Solo, the idea for Solo to come back, Roman watch his back at Carter it wasn't Paul Heyman's idea, and then he even made reference it wasn't Sammy's idea or Roman's. And then I thought he was going to say the Usos, but it was revealed that it wasn't even the Usos. It was the higher-ups, the higher chiefs of the Samoan family who decided that it was best that Solo go watch Roman Reigns back. And Roman addressed Solo saying they sent you, but you answered to me now. And he asked Solo to acknowledge him, and Solo acknowledged him, and Roman welcomed him to the Bloodline. To which Sammy wanted to publicly acknowledge Roman Reigns himself, which looked like they was turning on Sammy because they was that Roman told Sammy to take off the Bloodline shirt, and because of his continued hesitation, he made Jay do it. Jay ripped it off, and the funny thing here was they made it look like they was turning on Sammy, and Jay was happy about it. Until Roman was like, the reason, basically said the reason why he wanted him to take off that Bloodline shirt because he had a new shirt for him, and it was called, and he had his very own honorary Uso T-shirt. And Jay was not happy at all because Jay was like, yeah, we about to deal with him. And then when he heard he got a new shirt, he was like, yeah, what? He what? And he was just like, everybody was excited and happy for Sammy. Everybody, even Roman, except for Jay. Jay was just over there just on the side like he was like pissed. He was absolutely pissed. Adjust my camera real quick. But yeah, he was absolutely pissed. But yeah, that would end that segment. That segment just ended with Sami Zayn acknowledging Roman Reigns, and then they went to the back. We would get our first match of the night, which is Liv Morgan versus Lacey Evans. I'm glad to see Lacey Evans get some use here, but this match was more to put over Liv Morgan, considering that Liv Morgan challenged Ronda Rousey to an Extreme Rules match. and that's what they did. The match was good. It did have one good spot where, you know, they was doing the whole transition, like dodging each other, jumping on each other thing. But when they went to go do the usual spot where the person jumps over, like leapfrogs over the person charging at them, instead of the usual spot, Lacey Evans just big booted Liv Morgan right in midair. I was just like, holy crap. It was just funny because Liv Morgan's face was like, she made this one, like when she hit the ground, she clutched her chest and she made the face like she was going, oh, holy crap, you just caved in my chest. Like she looked like she could not. I was like, that was beautifully illustrated. Like she showed that beautifully. Like her eyes was all big and everything. Like she just could not breathe at all. I was like, that was beautifully so. I appreciate the level of commitment to selling that big boot. The rest of the match was good. You know, the typical Lacey Evans taunting Liv, saying she can't be a stream, and the whole announcers even playing up on it and saying that the whole problem with Liv Morgan is that she's a nice girl and all this and that, and nobody believes she got a mean streak in her. A mean streak that will help her win against somebody like Ronda. But she ended up rising to the occasion, beating Lacey Evans. But Lacey Evans got out the ring to grab a kendo stick and come back in the ring to beat her with it. But Lacey Evans, not Lacey Evans, but Liv Morgan was turning around and hit a cold breaker and the Oblivion, Oblivion on Lacey Evans to win. But then she will snap after the match and just get all extreme on Lacey Evans and like beat her with the kendo stick and put her through a table. What we get? We got a backstage promo with Sami Zayn and Madcap and Ricochet, who basically was taunting him about being an honorary Uso and was saying bad things about Roman, to which they got jumped from behind by Solo. And that would end up being one of the matches we will see next week. We will see, I think it was announced that Sami Zayn and Solo will have a tag team match against Madcap and Ricochet next week. We will get to the second match of the night, which was the New Day versus Maximum Male Models. This was an okay match. It wasn't like best of stuff here. They didn't even go a distance. It just went I think it went like a good 5 or 10 minutes, and then the New Day ended up getting the victory over Maximum Male Models. Like the one good thing I will say though, Maximum Male Models, while they might have one of the worst promos, they in ring work are good. Like, so it's still good. They haven't diminished that. They do work good as a tag team. Let's see. We got Braun Strowman versus Otis with I guess a backstage segments where they kept showing the Hit Row had like a little watch party in the back. They invited some other guys. They invited like the Street Profits, Shinsuke Nakamura, among others, backstage to help to watch the big matches. Like they was really wanting to watch Otis versus Braun Strowman, and then they wanted to watch the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes. There was a backstage program with the Brawling Brutes as well, just talking about how they're going to become the new Smackdown, the unified tag team champions. But yeah, then we would go to the next match, which is Braun Strowman versus Otis, and this was the only one of two good matches of the night. I guess you could say it was a good trade-off where you got two okay matches and then you got two good matches. And this was one of them. This was a very good match between Otis and Braun Strowman. I like how they played up the whole. They had to reinforce the ring because of the two heavyweights, and they delivered on that front. They delivered with the heavy hits and the heavy power moves. And Braun Strowman, even though Braun Strowman took the victory here, they didn't take away nothing from Otis. They made Otis look good. And, he was able. Braun took some bumps. I didn't realize that they changed Braun Strowman's moniker because he was how they were saying he was the monster among men. I didn't know now they call him the monster among monsters. So, but yeah, Braun Strowman big field match. Braun Strowman won against Otis, but not take like I said. Don't take anything away from Otis. He was good in this match too. Took it to Braun Strowman. Let's see what we got. We got a Drew McIntyre promo where Drew basically came out to talk about Karrion Kross, and more so it was just to announce that he has basically went to the higher ups to set up a match between him and Karrion Kross, which will be at Extreme Rules, and that it will be a strap match at Extreme Rules. This would bring out Scarlett, who came out. But as you might have thought, it was just a distraction because Karrion Kross was trying to sneak up from behind. But Drew was ready for it. They started fighting. And basically Drew tied the strap to Kross, and they would basically have like a little taste. They gave us a little taste of what would be the strap match, and Drew got the upper hand on Kross too. But I would have wished this next part was a little bit cleaner. But Scarlett basically got in the ring to like try to say, you proved your point, like trying to protect Kross, and then she threw a fireball at Drew McIntyre. But unlike when Alexa Bliss did it. She covered up the device so it looked like she really did throw a fireball. But Scarlett, they kind of like the camera kind of actually caught Scarlett when she did it. You see that she had a device in her hand. So and it was like. So it took away a little bit of mystique that they call it, that she should have had like Alexa Bliss where it was hitting and just like she did it with her own hands, But other than that, yeah, the fireball, and then Karrion Kross would get the upper hand and put him in the cross jacket, and I basically agreed to the match. We got the next match, which was Dakota Kai versus Raquel Rodriguez. Which was a good match. Wait a minute, hold on. Who won that match? I could have sworn Dakota Kai won that match. I might have got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Dakota. I thought Dakota Kai rode up Raquel Rodriguez. Anyway, it was just I could have sworn that's what happened, but I could be wrong. I know they got involved, but what I'm basically trying to say is that the next match basically was Raquel Rodriguez versus Dakota Kai, which Raquel basically, and it was a good match. It was a good match. I'm not going to say it was it. I don't want to say it was good because I said it was only 2 good matches. This was an okay match, but this was another interference type match from Bayley and Io, and that allowed. I think this is why I got confused on, because I guess Raquel got they made her fall. They grabbed her and hung her up on the ropes by her neck, and then Dakota Kai tried to pin her, but Sansi would come out with a distraction. Which now I remember, I guess that's why I thought Dakota won, because I thought that was the end of the match, but I forgot when Sansi Blackheart came out, that was her distraction, and that stopped the pin count, and Raquel came and got the Chicago bomb on Dakota Kai for the pin, and they fought her off. I think they said next week it was going to be Dakota Kai or either Bayley or Dakota Kai versus Sansi Blackheart next week. But yeah, we got to the main event, which is the Braun and Brutes versus the Usos for the Unified Tag Team Championships, which was the other good match of the night. And it was good. They went through 2 commercial breaks and went the distance. And oh yeah, it was also announced that Sheamus, because it was that in that promo I forgot with the Braun and Brutes earlier. Sheamus also said he was challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship next week, and that's what also it was announced here before the match that would take place next week. The match itself though was good. The Braun and Brutes did their thing. Both Sammy and Sikoa accompanied the Usos to the ringside, and of course Sammy and Sikoa would be there for distraction purposes. But you know what? The Braun and Brutes looked like they was gonna win. Despite them being there for distraction, they looked like they was gonna win. It was the distraction from Imperium that caused the Braun and Brutes to lose this match, because they had pretty much the match won, even with Sammy and them distracting them and all their shenanigans. But it was the Braun and Brutes who would attack Sheamus, causing Butch and Ridge Holland to come out the ring to help. But they would get attacked by the Usos, and Butch would get hit with the 1D, and yeah, that sealed the victory for the Usos. And they also announced too, before I close this out, that the Usos were basically the 3rd longest reign. They said the only people that was in front of them for the longest reign as tag team champions were the Demolition and the New Day themselves. But yeah, this was an okay episode of SmackDown. Nothing too exciting happened. We did get some two good matches, and everything else was okay. Nothing bad. It was just it just didn't feel like an important SmackDown. So with that being said, because I believe the reason why everything has been so slow, because they're preparing for us a great return with this whole White Rabbit, songs and cryptic clues. But yeah, I'm gonna give this episode of SmackDown 6 out of 10. Big just because it wasn't nothing spectacular, but we did get 2 good matches. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought. If you enjoyed this video, you hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And you enjoyed the video so much and want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit the like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, hit that thanks button, and hit that join button. And if you want to see more videos, you hit any one of these videos or videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere, because you always got more. So peace out.